from poll closing in the Alabama Senate race, and I'm going to update with my final thoughts and predictions. I think I will do a recap video um, after the results are in and we have a projected winner. Maybe trying to dig through some of the statistics with the race, involving the race. Look into whether or not the turnout expectations were even close. I feel like I probably overshot the turnout estimation a little bit. I was predicting well over 1 million voters. Some of the reports that I've been seeing and some other analysis that's been out there has said that it'll be a struggle to get 750,000 or 800,000 votes. But who knows? I absolutely have no idea how this is going to affect the race with it being the holiday season, and Alabama had some snow and weather the last week or so. Might keep people from the polls. There's been no early voting, so today is the day, and it really is all about turnout, because if Jones doesn't get the turnout that he needs, especially in heavily populated areas and counties that are predominantly African American, then he's going to have a long night, or it could be a real short night in favor of Moore. And just reading through some of the key counties that we talked about, like the target areas in the last video, but just reading through some of them, I think I've overlooked some counties that really Jones needs to do well in. And you'd say obviously Jefferson County is going to be a huge target for him. That's the most populous county in the state, with a population close to 700,000. Mobile County, Madison County, Montgomery are going to be key. Even if he doesn't win some of those other counties like Mobile or Baldwin, he's going to have to hold his own and hope that Moore doesn't run up the numbers in some of those counties. So it's been interesting to read some of the analysis, kind of comparing to the 2016 election, some of the places that he needs to be able to come away with. 538.com had a great article just entitled "Everything You Need to Know About the Alabama Senate Election," written by Harry Enton, who's I think been with them for a long time. Has always had very good analysis on the race, and it gives you a rundown of polls and of some of the key benchmarks that Jones needs to hit to have any kind of chance in this election. So again, really, it's in most elections, it's all about turnout, and then we'll see, I think, fairly early whether or not Jones has what it takes tonight to make this an upset. So that being said, my gut feeling on the race, and I think this is what I was going to try to do with this video, was kind of give a final thoughts and predictions. I think this is going to be a close race. I think it's going to be closer than, it should have been. I think there were already problems with with Moore to begin with before any allegation came out about the sexual harassment claims, and after after the series of women came out and made their allegations, I think people were already having issues with him, and some moderate conservatives had some second thoughts, but I don't think it was enough to jump over to Moore. That's one thing that I'm really curious about, is if these allegations, along with their already reluctance about Moore, is going to drive moderate GOP voters to vote for Jones. I just feel like Richard Shelby, the other senator in Alabama, he voted for an undisclosed write-in candidate. So I'd be curious to see if anybody ever finds out who that was, and or if there's a united front. If you see, you're not going to see it. I don't think you're going to see it tonight, but after the votes are tabulated, maybe later, we'll see if a certain particular individual received a substantial amount of write-in votes for somebody specifically. But I'm curious if the moderate GOP in the state will cross over or stay. It's either cross over to Jones, which I don't think is going to happen a whole lot, stay home with Moore, or write in somebody else. So obviously a crossover to Jones is a direct effect on Moore, but it still hurts more if they just decide to stay home and not vote, or if they decided to write in somebody else instead of for Moore himself. But I think Moore is going to hope that a lot of moderate GOP doesn't do the worst case scenario, which is just cross over and vote for Jones directly, which could give Jones a nice boost, especially in suburban areas of some of the bigger metropolitan areas in the state, outside of Montgomery, outside of Jefferson County, outside of Birmingham and Huntsville and Tuscaloosa. These are going to be areas where Jones is going to have to hope that he can appeal to those that are offended by the allegations and think that it compromises Moore's supposed cultural conservative implications. So I think at the end of it, I'm still fairly confident that I think, just because of the predisposed advantages that Moore has, I still think this is going to be a close race, but I think Moore still pulls this thing out. He just has a very huge advantage, just a big advantage in Alabama, and even with being a compromised, supposedly, I'll be fair there, supposedly compromised past life, I still think with a full support of Trump, and a naturally conservative geography across the state, I think Moore still pulls this thing out. I'm curious by how much. I think it's going to be. It's hard to make some of these kind of predictions, though. I think either way, whoever wins, it's going to be in the single digits. I don't think there's going to be a double-digit win here by either side. And I think if Moore wins, I think he wins by 7 or 8 percentage points. If Jones were to win, I think it's going to be razor thin, and I think he'll win by 5 or less. So I'm going to lean the other way. I'm going to think that Moore still holds this thing out, wins by about 6-7 percentage points, takes it with what, depending on how many write-in votes, there might be a sliver of 2 or 3% that are write-ins and other parties, or I don't even know who else is on the ballot. I don't think anybody else is on the ballot. So any write-ins or any kind of other votes, I think so you have somewhere of like 96-97% to deal with. I think maybe Moore wins 53, 53-45 or 52-46. I mean, it's just all speculative. But I think he still pulls this thing out, makes it. But Jones, and along with the allegations, have made this thing super close. And I just don't know if Jones is going to have enough to turn out the base. So that'll be my final prediction. I still think Moore by 6 percentage points, 6-7 percentage points. I know that Democrats were hoping for a big win. I think, just personally, if this had been a different state, a little friendlier of a state in terms of population, or in terms of geography, and just the population of voters, I think maybe Democrats would have had quite a bit of easier time taking this thing out. But I think Roy Moore and Donald Trump are going to have a big one tonight, and they're going to take this thing down, despite a valiant effort, I think, from Jones and from Jones and Democrats. I think this has been a fascinating race, though, for a Senate special election. This has been fascinating, and I will definitely dig into the details afterwards, and we'll look into the stats and see if I was anywhere close in terms of my estimations, and then just look at some of the raw numbers that will come in over the course of the night. I wanted to do a live video, but I think it'd be easier just to do a recap video, an aftermath video, and we'll see where we're at that point. So, yep, polls close in about 2 hours now. and I will be monitoring the results as they come in over the course of the night. Maybe we'll have a quick night, maybe we won't, so we'll see. So yeah, look for that recap video. Please like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. After the Alabama Senate special election coverage, I'm going to start making videos for each Senate race across the country in looking forward to the 2018 midterm elections. I think we also might possibly have a congressional special election in Oklahoma, as I believe, I think his name's Bridenstine, has been nominated for the NASA chief position, or has been nominated. I'm not sure when he will get confirmed, but Trump nominated him for the position, and that might trigger a special election, which I believe it's a district in the Tulsa area, so that might be an opportunity for Democrats to score an upset there too. So that might be an interesting race going forward. So yeah, I want to keep a more active role in this atmosphere. I believe the elections are going to become very fascinating and more involved. I think people will become more involved and more interested in learning about the scopes of each race. So along with that special election, I want to start doing a state-by-state breakdown of each race as it comes. Maybe start with the Senate, move on to some hotter House races, and maybe some gubernatorial races as well. So that's it for now. I will be back maybe at the end of tonight or tomorrow morning with a recap of the Alabama Senate special election 2017.